let me tell the whole Stewart Copeland story. And, of course, Sting and Billy Joel just at Ray J on Saturday night. I was there with Michelle and friends. We had a great time. I thought the show was great. Fester was there. We got a couple little Fester angles we got to talk about because Fester was in the wheelchair section. And apparently Fester just told me that he almost beat the ass of the guy behind him.
I got into
Was he in a wheelchair?
He was not.
That's all we
beat
need.
up an old man.
I could.
That's all we need is Fester beats up someone in a wheelchair at the Billy Joel concert.
I have been finding that I escalate things very quickly with people at concerts.
So Froggy asked just a few moments ago, was Stewart Copeland on the drums? No. It's not a Police reunion. It was Sting. And no, the Police, none of the Police members tour with Sting. But the drummer was good, but it was not Stewart Copeland. Stewart Copeland was the drummer for the English band, The Police. I think Stewart Copeland's actually American, though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So Stewart Copeland was sitting on my couch in my living room when I came home from work one day.
Was he fully clothed?
This was like late 89 or early 1990. And yes, he was fully clothed, Roxanne.
Unfortunately.
I just didn't know where the story's going. It could go anywhere.
Well, I'm going to tell you where the story's going right now. It's going to hell, okay? All right, here's where the story's going. I lived in Hollywood on Orange Avenue, 531 and a half Orange Avenue. And it was an old 1926 Hollywood house that was turned into a triplex. So 2 lower units, one on the left, one on the right, and then the center door went upstairs to a really nice big apartment upstairs. The landlord, named Greg, was a composer. And he worked on musical scores for TV shows and movies. He really nice guy, talented guy. I don't think he ever knocked it out of the park with any major Hollywood hits, but he had good steady work on TV shows and movies, but a really super guy. Turns out that he was working on the movie soundtrack for a really bad movie called Men at Work.
That's not that bad of a movie.
Emilio Estevez
and Charlie Sheen. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible movie. It's awful.
They're garbage men.
So, exactly. So, and they're dealing with toxic waste and stuff. So in the beginning of the movie, I actually provided some of the sound effects. In the beginning of the movie, there's this, I think they're I haven't seen this in 30-something years, all right? It's been a long time. So I think the movie starts out with some
garbage stuff.
Some 55-gallon drums of waste and underwater, and you hear the bubbling, gurgling noises I gave to my landlord, Greg, who lived upstairs, and he rented the lower units, and he gave me a great deal on the rent because I was single guy. I was working out in L.A. I had just gone to L.A. earlier in 89 to work for a radio station called Pirate Radio with Scott Shannon, who used to be here on Q105 years ago with the Q Morning Zoo, then went to Z100 in New York with the Z Morning Zoo, then left Z100 in 89 to go start Pirate Radio in Los Angeles, and Scott hired me from Virginia Beach to go work in L.A. So I had this great little apartment, but I didn't need the whole thing because I was just a single guy. So Greg gave me half price on the rent. The rent was $1,200 a month. I only paid $600 because he kept the whole back room as his office. So it worked. It worked well. So, he was in there doing work in the office. I come home from Pirate Radio 5, 6 o'clock one afternoon, and Stewart Copeland is sitting on my couch, and he's going through my CD collection because I had a big bookshelf with tons of CDs.
Big Barbra Streisand fan, are you?
Yeah, and he's going through my CDs, sitting on my couch. I'm like, Are you really sitting on my couch, Stewart Copeland from the? I recognized him immediately, and he was at my apartment because he was working with Greg. He was in the office in the back of my apartment. The studio was in the old garage in the back. Greg had a whole recording studio back there, and they were working on the soundtrack for the movie Men at Work with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. And Emilio was over there numerous times as well, so he was never in my apartment sitting on my couch, but I met Emilio several times while they were working on some of the cuts in the soundtrack. But that's my story.
Wow.
Is Stewart Copeland is just sitting on my couch. He's going through my CDs.
This is awesome.
You know what? I had a Police CD. He signed my. I gotta find that. So in my collection somewhere, boxed up, is a Police CD, and he signed the damn CD with a Sharpie.
That's awesome.
So that's my Stewart Copeland story, who was not on drums Saturday night
Damn.
at Ray J. It was some other guy playing drums for Sting.